Welcome in, ladies and gentlemen, to Prowler Racing League season number 7, round 5 here at Abu Dhabi. We took a break for the North American Thanksgiving weekend. We're back mirroring the IRL race weekend at Abu Dhabi. 16 corners, 3.281 miles, 2 DRS zones. Look for the overtaking down into turn 6 and 9. So let's go to the intermission screen while we're getting ready to go. Few technical difficulties early on. Apologize for that. We're trying to get everyone into the lobby, and OBS was being a POS. So gotta make sure everything's up and running again. Hopefully it is. We shall see. So here's the calendar for season 7. We are round number 5, Abu Dhabi. Nothing special tonight other than a normal Grand Prix weekend. Just doing qualifying and then on to the race. Next up, we're at Spain next weekend. And then a sprint in Vegas before we are taking a break for the holiday season and back in January for Canada, Austria, Hungary, China, and then February finishing out in Belgium. So our standings so far, if we can pull them up here, is your team standings. McLaren out in front, 163 to Sauber's 152. Racing Bulls 73, Ferrari 71, Aston Martin sit at 60, Haas 39, Alpine 33, Red Bull finally moving up 30, Williams dropping down 25. Mercedes scoring points finally with 12. So those team standings brought to you by your drivers. Here's the top 10. SC Fire out in front, pipping Sasuke with 1 point, 102 to 101. Lone Fiber P3 with 62. Vanilla tying with 2 Asian, 53. I That Man, 50. MLB, the Show Me Your D with 38. Dom, 35. Boogie going to reserve status, 25. And Dynamic moving up to the top 10 with 22. So that's going to do it for the standings. Let's head down to the track. Get ready for qualifying. Let's get rid of these in-game graphics and see who has their telemetry set correctly. Gangy's good. Ultra's good. Dynamic's good. SC Fire's good. The Mercedes. Who is that? Oh, that's gotta remind the newcomer of our telemetry requirements, so we can get their name up on the board there. Then we got F4, I That Man, Vanilla, Sasuke, Dom, Rasha, and MLB. So that's everybody. Let's head to the track. See who's actually out on track. Looks like Pro Ultra is going to be the first one around doing soft tires. Also not getting telemetry from him as well. So it looks like the Red Bull went ahead. So we'll head over to, say that's F4. Nope. Vanilla? It is Vanilla. Vanilla starting us off with driver timing. Going through the hairpin, heading down the long straightaway. Heavy braking into 6 for the chicane, heading round 8 into the next DRS zone. Rear wing popping open there. Pro Ultra getting fastest first sector away from Vanilla. But Vanilla will be giving us our first representative time. So Vanilla across the line, 1:23.419. Next up, that's going to be setting a time is I That Man across the line. Pro Ultra actually sets fastest time, 1:22.642. The game is a little laggy here, trying to get to our drivers on track, bouncing all over the place. So, I That Man coming around the final quarter is going to set a time. Second, 1:22.759. F4 fastest lap, 1:22.6. Well, 1:22.560 for Susuke. It's all over the place right now. Let's get the one down to SC Fire. Game is being very buggy right now, but I believe that is because a couple of our drivers do not have their telemetry set correctly. It's causing an issue. SC Fire coming around turn 14 under the hotel. Around the final corner, turn 16, sparking as he goes, keeps it on the track, cross the line, sets a 1:24.458. So let's go take a look at Rasha. Trying to set a lap. Going under the hotel. Coming to the final 2 corners of the track. Cross the line, Rasha P9 with a 1:23.708. So Dom currently setting mini purple sectors with the greens, personal best in the first sector. Personal best mini sectors as he's now into the DRS zone along the long straightaway down to turn 9. Leaving the sector. Personal best again, still almost half a second off of our pole setter, provisional pole setter, Susuke. Dom, invalidates. He cuts across and now going backwards on the track. Very interesting way to get back into the pits after that kerfuffle. So right now, nobody out on track setting a timed lap. Dynamic is on an out lap right now, I believe. Getting ready to do a qualifying run. Dynamic cutting the corner to continue on. Still just under 10 minutes left in this qualifying session. So the Ferrari of Pro Ultra out currently setting lap. Let's go with him as he's already on a time lap. Dynamic still making his way around the track. Pro Ultra setting a personal best first sector. Still missing some telemetry data. Don't know what his battery level is as he's pushing the car here into DRS zone. Rear wing wide open. Purple mini sectors. He purples the middle sector fully. Almost 3/10 up on Sasuke's time. Cross the line, fastest 1:22.053. Then we're going to go to the McLaren that was on pole, sets the fastest first sector. There we go. Now we got all the data. So Sasuke can't do fastest middle sector, but still improves. Coming around the final corners now. Down to the line, cross line, only P2, 1:22.399. See who next is improving. So if we head down to Rasha, if we can catch him real fast. Rasha, personal best in the first sector. See what we can do coming down through the second sector, improving again. Roughly about a second off of Pro Ultra's time. But let's see if Rasha can keep this up and improve starting position. And Rasha abandons the lap after invalidating. So let's see here. So we're coming around MLB, the Show Me Your D. Personal best first sector, second sector did not improve. Let's see if he abandons the lap or finishes it. Cuts the corner, invalidates. So that cutting the corner right at the end there, I believe, will also invalidate his next lap as well. We shall see. So Gangy also invalidated. Everybody invalidating as they're coming into the pits. Let's go check out Dynamic. He's improving mini sectors in this first sector. Let's see what, oh, and he's down 2/10. Dynamic getting the toe from his teammate as they head down. MLB getting out of the way, but taking out the final braking board. Let's see if Dynamic can continue on this lap. Still not improving. So we're going to go with, we'll head down to our leader of the championship so far, SC Fire. Personal best in the first sector, looking to continue on. Here's your drivers' championships again. SC Fire out in front with Sasuke behind, Lone Fiber, 2 Asian. But SC Fire right now, we're watching personal best again in sector 2, about a half second off of Pro Ultra's time. Underneath the hotel, SC Fire goes. See what he can do as he comes across. And he dives into the pits. So he does not complete that lap. So let's go check out Dom in the Mercedes. Dom improved in the first sector, but not in the middle sector. So the timing catch up here. So I have a feeling Dom might actually abandon this lap as well. And he does. Into the pits he comes. So currently we only got 2 other cars out on track right now. MLB invalidated, and so did I That Man. So MLB more than likely going to come into the pits now, and he is. So the only car that's out on track is, no, I That Man's in the pits too. Pro Ultra. So Pro Ultra is making his way around the track right now and validating on his out lap. 2.5 minutes left in the qualifying session. So nobody's, the only cars out on track are pretty much all on out lap. So we're going to keep an eye here on Pro as he's making his way around. 2 minutes left to go. Let's see if he continues this lap. And he does. So we're going to watch his telemetry as he does this hot lap here. Full throttle as he heads down to turn 1. Quick jab on the brake. So F4 retiring from the session in P2 currently with a 122.341. Pro Ultra is a little squirrely on the accelerator there, but now heading down the long straightaway down to turn number 6. Heavy lock up there through the chicane. He does have a personal best in the first sector. Right now, Pro Ultra looking to stamp his authority on the qualifying session here as he heads around turn 9. Does not improve in the middle sector, but he did have, so he'll slow into the first part of the second sector, but purple mini sectors in the second half of the second sector. So he is flying just a little not under control as he would want it to be. The back end breaking out. You can see there having to lightly get on the accelerator. Let's see if this improves his time. And it does. A 121.871 for the Ferrari as he comes down to turn number 1. So let's go take a look at anybody else that's possibly improving on their time. Rasha does have personal best first and second sectors. 6 seconds. Let's come across the line here is going to be Dynamic first. P6 with 123, 240. His teammate cross line P8. And we've got Vanilla up to P8, dropping MLB down. Well, that was Rasha. I'm sorry. Rasha, P7. Vanilla still coming around, but let's head up to. Let's go up to P3 with Sasuke as he's coming around the final corners. Purple mini sectors, but could not improve in that first sector. So let's see where he can end up as he comes across the line. P2. And then Eye That Man coming around the final corner as well. Let's see what he can improve to. And he doesn't. Stays P4. So we're going to run down real quick. Down to Vanilla, if we can, in time. The game would let us. To Vanilla. Coming around the final corner now. Vanilla moves up to P7. The 123, 118. So that's going to give your pole position to Pro Ultra with a 121.871. Looks like everyone else is basically just coming back into the pits now to finish up this qualifying session. So again, your pole setter, Pro Ultra. Let's get a screenshot of this real quick. Head back to the intermission screen. So we'll give everyone 5 minutes, which puts us right at 7:30. All right, so back into the pit lane we go. Everyone's going to figure out what their strategy is going to be for tonight. So while we're waiting for that, again, let's go over the calendar just as a reminder for everyone. Tonight we're in Abu Dhabi. Nothing special but a Grand Prix to mirror the IRL season finale of F1 2025 with Lando Norris being your World Drivers Champion and McLaren being the Constructors Champion. But tonight, your Constructors lead is McLaren 163, the Saubers 152, Racing Bulls in third. Again, that's brought to you by our current drivers. SC Fire leading Sasuke by only 1 point. But unfortunately, the McLaren will be on his own tonight as Lone Fiber's not here. So the two Saubers going to be fighting together to score a significant amount of points. So right now we're giving everyone the opportunity to stretch out their arms a little bit, get their strategy set. It should be relatively clear for weather-wise just because it is the desert of Abu Dhabi. Two minutes left to go until the lobby will ready up. I know it's typically, it seems like it's a very long time, but sometimes that 5 minutes can go by very quickly, especially if somebody's trying to use the restroom or something, trying to get back in time for the race. But the biggest thing is why we allow 5 minutes between the sessions is sometimes we get some really interesting tire strategies that drivers try to choose. Now, remind you, in F1, you have to run 2 dry tire compounds throughout the race. But the amount of pit stops tonight is up to driver's discretion. There's no requirement like we normally have some nights where we require multiple stops. That is not the case tonight. They just have to make the 2 dry tires work unless it rains. Once the track is declared wet and DRS is disabled, the dry tire rule goes right out the window. 1 more minute left to go before we are live under the lights, or under the sunset, here at Abu Dhabi. So again, your pole setter is going to be Pro Ultra, setting a 121.871. Oh, it looks like Sasuke couldn't make it back in time. He's asking for an extension. For a 1 minute extension. We would be going ready now, but we're going to wait. Oh, somebody readied up. So we're going to head to the track. We're going to drop the music off. And we're going to be under the formation lap here. So let's get rid of these in-game graphics. Pull up our graphics if they would work. So the game's calling for 2-stop or a 3-stop strategy for our drivers tonight. So we're going to go with, we'll actually pull the in-game graphics up real quick. We do seem to be having an issue real quick. Still hanging around on the formation lap. Looks like this was a bug with the game, not saying the data correctly. So we're going to say here, Gainey looks like he unfortunately collected a wall for a driver and had to start back from the front. So here we are heading to the front. We're going to actually put the camera on P2 as we're getting ready here for the race around Abu Dhabi. Three lights, 4 lights, 5 lights. And we are racing at Abu Dhabi. Looks like a really fantastic start for the 2 up front. Pro Ultra and Sasuke going side by side as we head through turn number 2. Sasuke drops in behind. Yellow flag. Looks like we had a little bit of an incident with Rasha and MLB towards the back. F4 making a break on the inside there. And SC getting up to P3 past the Red Bull. As I head down to turn number 9. Lock up there from SC as F4 is right on the tail, but right behind that is I That Man. So this is a very close battle for third position. Dynamic in the Aston Martin, not letting him get away. Pro Ultra setting fastest lap so far of this race. So the gap building now between third place and fourth place. So third and fourth, both on the hard tires. He's on the long straightaway. No one reporting damage. MLB, the Show Me Your D, does have 10 seconds of penalties that he will have to serve on his pit stop. F4 going for the move on the inside, down to turn number 6, makes it happen. But SC not letting that deter him as he sets the fastest middle sector, or first sector. Middle sector fastest was F4. So Dynamic getting ahead of I That Man, creating the new Sauber sandwich. Sasuke setting fastest lap as we start lap number 3. Now the game is predicting that these medium tire cars, Dynamic going wide there. Medium tires going to last about 12 to 14 laps, whereas the hard's going about 14 to 16. So I That Man closing in on Dynamic after that slight mistake through turn number 2. So far, all cars running Dynamicing right on the gearbox of SC. So now head into the long straight, or a second straight. Sasuke up to the lead, getting past Pro Ultra just before turn number 9, using that DRS2 advantage. Let's head back up to the front here. Watch Pro Ultra hunt down after losing the lead. Ooh, Sasuke getting a little bit sideways there. Out of 13. Under the hotel they go. Now they're heading around the final 2 corners to complete another lap around Abu Dhabi. So let's head down to Rasha back in P7. Dynamic losing out to the Sauber of I That Man. Rasha now on the gearbox. Wonder if Dynamic hurting a little bit. Well, while this is all happening, the Mercedes of Nylon getting right up in there. Going around the outside now of Dynamic up to P6. So Nylon, one of our newest drivers, just registered tonight, joined us literally last second. Currently up to P6 after starting from the back per the rookie requirements. Chasing down the medium shod tires of I That Man. So the Sauber's going with a split strategy so far tonight. SC Fire on the hards, I That Man on the mediums. We're watching, also checking the timing board, Vanilla on the back of Rasha, battling for P8. So Nylon's going to get DRS here, but I That Man also has DRS. So the Sauber's working together as defense, and oh, the Saubers almost collect each other. I That Man barely slowing it down in time. Thankfully, not hitting his teammate and the championship leader. Nylon going for the inside. We're going to go almost 3 wide, 2 wide through 9. SC getting very out of shape, allowing Nylon to zip around the outside. Nylon up to P4, getting around the Saubers here on lap 5. So Nylon absolutely flying right now. 2 seconds up ahead to F4. Everyone's tire wear is looking pretty even so far. Nothing is screaming out that needs to be paid very close attention to. Field is also starting to spread out pretty evenly. The gaps all sitting right around under a second for anyone who's nearby each other. We got a few larger gaps. Dynamic P7 up to P6. But the gap Pro Ultra closing in on the leader. Not letting him go away. The DRS is going to be huge here on the straightaway or the curve down to turn number 9. Sasuke defending to the inside early on. Pro Ultra not making the move there. Ooh, Ultra dropping way back all of a sudden. Not sure what happened there. Not sure if it was the rear tires sitting at 34%. Oh, he's getting very squirrely. So the tires are going through their graining phase right now, and he's losing grip. So Sasuke on the hard tires, seeing it much less wear than Pro Ultra. Now I'm pretty sure this is what it's going to be. F4 going for a move on Pro Ultra here. Gets around up to P2. Pro Ultra, those tires are screaming at him. So F4 up to P2. Real quick on the weather. Yeah, that's going to be clear for the entire race pretty much. So we're good there. So if we actually, let's head back over to the Pro, as now Nylon's catching Pro as well. But let's check out what the car is saying for Pro Ultra. 37 on the left rear, 42 on the right rear. So he is definitely struggling with tire grip on those mediums. Now, again, we were predicting the mediums 12 to 14. So these tires are pretty shot compared to what the game was predicting for wear. But right now, Pro Ultra having to try to attack F4, but at the same time, he's got to watch the backside as he's got Nylon coming up real fast. So let's go check out Dynamic. Very close battle here. Dynamic on the backside of Vanilla. It looks like we may have our first customer coming into the pits. And it's going to be SC Fire diving into the pits, retiring from the session. Our championship leader retired from the session after 8 laps. Does have front wing damage and rear wing damage, so that's going to do it for SC Fire tonight. 100% on the front, 33 are the rear wing damage. That's what's going to do. A lot of drivers, they will be like, nope, I'm out of here. That rear wing damage is impossible to drive more times than not. So if we actually take a look at the gained losses after 8 laps, so Dynamics up 1 position, Vanilla's up 1 position, Rosh up 1, MLB up 2, whereas Dom and Gangy have dropped down. Again, the big mover, Nylon in P4, as Dynamic goes around the outside on 9, tries to pull the Oscar move. Vanilla getting all out of sorts. Dynamic trying to capitalize on it. Heavy braking into 12. Vanilla have to take avoiding action. These tires are cooked. While this is all happening, Rasha getting right up there with these guys. And we're continuing on. Let's actually, I can pull up the tire wear here on the graphic. You can see right now, That Man sitting at 58%, 59 on the rear. So he'll be pitting soon. But now he doesn't have to worry about his teammate and overlapping on pits as SC is done. Oh, it looks like we got a car around. That's going to be, I believe, Rasha. In turn 3, getting the car spun around. So all of our medium tire shod cars sitting at anywhere between 50 to 65% on the rear. So they will be making their pit stops pretty soon here as Vanilla is going around the outside of Dynamic, gets it done well before turn 9, using that DRS advantage to his advantage. Let's go a little bit further back. Dom chasing down MLB. MLB with the tire advantage, way less wear. So our drivers are going long as That Man continues on SC Fire left. So we're now down to 11 cars running on track of the original 12 that started. And right now, MLB is actually pulling a gap on Dom as Dom is falling back now. It's 7/10 behind, 8/10 behind. So let's go check out further up ahead, F4. Trying to not lose too much time against Nylon. Nylon all the way up to P2 now on his hard tires. So your top 3, Sasuke, Nylon, and F4, all on the hard tires. Nylon does have 2 warnings to his name. We're on lap 10, about to start lap number 11 as your leader comes around across the line. And Pro Ultra stays out with these guys here. So Pro Ultra, the first car on the mediums. Continuing on, looks like That Man's diving into the pits. And everyone else continuing on except for Dom, who also comes into the pits. And Gangy. Move on the inside there for F4, getting up to P2. Getting it done the hairpin before the long straightaway with DRS. So now F4 is going to build a bit of a gap, but it's not enough. Oh! Nylon got very sideways there. And again, I think Nylon's rear tires gave out on him as they came up to the hairpin or to the and into the wall. That looks like it. Oh, he just reset it to. Did he reset the track? That almost looked like he reset the track, but I think it was just because the camera jumped on board. I don't think that was a reset. It just looked like it was a camera jump. But Nylon dropping all the way down the 7th now with 73% on his front wing end plate damage. You can see there the left front is missing or damaged. The tires are absolutely cooked. He's got 70% on the rears. Actually, let's check out. Does he actually have a puncture? Oh, he's around again. So the back. Oh, he's got rear wing damage now. Whoa, almost collecting. That man there. So he's got rear wing damage. The rear tires are absolutely cooked, and he's hitting the wall. Front wing's completely gone out. How is he still running? Cuts the corner. Gets a penalty into the pit lane. See what he chooses to do here. Definitely got to get a front wing change. They are doing that. And he left the session. So he retired and is out. So tough break for our newest driver, Nylon. Very promising, but lost control and is now out of the race. So lap 12 of 29 here at Abu Dhabi. Let's actually go through our running order right now. Give a little bit of a race story, see where everyone's at. Actually, no, we'll wait for pit stops to go through that. So, Sasuke coming in for the pits. Started the race on the hards. Let's see if he goes with a 2-stop or the three-stop strategy. So pretty much everyone in the back went from mediums to hard. So Sasuke goes hard to medium. Pro Ultra into the pits as well, going medium to hard. F4 staying out. Vanilla staying out. That man getting fast slap, 125.768. Sasuke coming out right behind Vanilla. Super close now. So Vanilla's going to have all to do to defend on very worn tires compared to Sasuke. Let's see if he gives him a hard time. Doesn't do the Yuki Tsunoda weaving back and forth. Vanilla tucks in right behind. Hopefully can slow down in time. Heard a little bit of a lock up there, but the camera's terrible as we head into turn 7 and now through 8. Sasuke up to P2 on the brand new medium tires. Sitting at only 14% ERS, so he's going to have to work on recharging the battery on that one. So F4 ahead by about 12 seconds. More than likely going to be coming to the pits next. So F4 continuing on this lap, currently sitting at 59 and 71% average for the rears. Gap is now down to 10.7. Let's take a look at the car info for F4. 66 on the left rear, 77 on the right rear. So he's going to go right up to puncture territory. Continuing on, the gap closing behind. Keeping an eye on the rest of the timing board. That man losing distance to Pro Ultra. And everyone pretty much spread out. So once F4, Vanilla, and MLB come into the pits, we'll go through a race story rundown for all of our drivers out on track. F4 continuing on. So as it says right now, if F4 were to pit, he'll rejoin in 6th place. And he's well beyond now. He's still, I think he's still in. Was the tire life on these? 16. So he's going to go right to the 16 laps, I bet. Gap now down to 6.3 seconds. Heavy braking into 6. Apologize, we didn't have game audio there for quite a few of the laps there. Completely missed the audio for the start all the way up to lap 14. So I apologize for that. Gap now down to 5.5 seconds. Rasha retiring from the session. So it pretty much was Oprah points for everyone tonight as we score up to P12. But as neither Rasha, Nylon, or Fire have done 70, or is it 90%? I forget what the percentage is. They will not be scoring points tonight. So F4 coming in, swapping to the mediums. And there it goes, Pro Ultra with I That Man. Vanilla also coming into the pits. So the only one that still is yet to pit is MLB, the Show Me Your D, currently running 5th. You can see him there just in the background. So let's go back up to kind of the front here as I That Man chasing down Pro Ultra, the gap very close. Ooh, Vanilla pick up a 3-second while I That Man goes for the inside move on Pro Ultra into turn number 6. But that's going to... Pro Ultra trying the over-under. Can't get it done. DRS now available for Pro Ultra. I That Man tucks back in behind Pro Ultra as they head down to turn number 9. So Sasuke, the leader, out in front by 12 seconds. While Pro Ultra and I That Man battle it out. Dom picking up a 3-second time penalty. Down to turn 1, I That Man falling back just a little bit. So MLB is finally into the pits. Just go and drop him right to the back of the running order. Gap between Pro and I That Man, 7:10. So it's in DRS range. Rear wing opened up on I That Man as he heads down. Turn number 6, heavy braking. Right on the gearbox there of Pro Ultra. Ooh, sideways! Losing the back end. Exiting there, which is going to allow F4 to close the gap as well. DRS wide open. F4 goes to the inside. We head down to turn number 9. F4 gets up to P3. I That Man losing out, trying to close the gap to Pro Ultra, but can't put power down at the chicane of 6 and loses out to F4. So let's head back up to our race leader. Go through race story as now everyone has completed at least one pit stop. So Sasuke started P2, currently in first, keeping it relatively clean with only one warning. 5 laps on these tires. Then P2 Pro Ultra currently defending against the P3 of F4. But Pro Ultra, your pole setter, currently running in second place on lap 18 here at Abu Dhabi. We're going to watch here as F4 gets closer and closer, decides to go to the outside, up to P2, F4 goes, gets it slowed down in time to accelerate through. That's why the gap closed up. Sasuke spun it. So now we're going to have a back and forth here, I think, possibly with F4 and Pro Ultra. Nope. Down turn 9. So P2, we're going to go with F4. Started third, now in second, keeping it clean as well. Then Pro Ultra, unfortunately, losing out to F4, is now down to third place. Started first and third now. Then we got I That Man, started fifth, currently up into fourth place. Doing quite well tonight, even though it did have that little bit of a moment earlier on, lost out to F4. Then in P5, we got Dynamic getting chased by Dom. Started 8th, currently in 5th. Sasuke coming to the pits to change out his tires. We're on lap 19 of 29. So Dynamic started 8th in 5th. Then you got Dom. Started 6th, now in 5th after we passed Sasuke leaving the pit exit. But now, the thing to keep in mind here is Dom does have a 3-second time penalty to contend with. So if Dynamic wanted to, he could let him go, but stay within 3 seconds, because it sometimes is easier to chase than to defend, especially on these long straightaways with the DRS train available to them. So next up, we've got Sasuke after he gets into the pits to change out to hard tires. 2nd to 6th now, but we're going to skip over him because we already did his. Vanilla breaking even on the 7s. Car number 7 started 7th, now in 7th. Wait, is that right? No, I'm sorry. That was a 7th place. That's what the 7 was there for. My bad. So, started 7th, now in 7th. Unfortunately, does have 3 seconds of time penalties to contend with at the end of this race. Is on the medium tires. We'll see how he does going forward. Then we got, next up is Gangy in the Williams. Started 10th, in 8th place now. About 5 seconds behind Vanilla. 10 laps left to go. Does have a 3-second time penalty to contend with. And then our last running car of the night is MLB, the Show Me Your D. On the medium tires, started 11th, up to 9th now. Going to score a decent amount of points for the Aston Martin duo for tonight. F4 out in front from Sasuke pitting. Great position for the Red Bull driver to come down the turn number 2. Pro Ultra closing the gap. We're going to go down to Sasuke just blowing by Dynamic on the brand new tires. Only 1 lap old compared to Dynamic's 7 lap old tires. Sets a fastest first sector. And now second sector is the fastest. Sasuke looking to get that extra point away from Vanilla. Pro Ultra picking up another warning. 9 laps left to go here at Abu Dhabi. So let's go take a look. Sasuke fastest lap as we predicted, 1:24.784 for the leader, or for Sasuke in P4. Championship second place, but will get the championship lead after tonight as SC Fire retired from the session early on. So we're going to keep an eye on the gap back from our leader F4 back to Pro Ultra, sitting at 1.8 seconds. So everyone pretty much getting very spread out for tonight. So as again, your team standings, McLaren out in front, 163 to Sauber's 152. Racing Bull 73, Ferrari 71, Aston Martin 60, Haas 39, Alpine 33, Red Bull 30 points, which as F4 continues on, the gap not closing down to Pro Ultra is going to score a handful of points for the Red Bull team. And Williams with 25, Mercedes with 12. Now again, with SC Fire retiring from tonight, Sasuke is going to leapfrog him into the lead. Right now, SC Fire, your current championship leader after 4 rounds. But after tonight, he will lose that top spot. Dom deciding to go with soft tires. To finish out these last few laps, looking to steal that extra point away from Sasuke. Gap now from Pro Ultra to F4 is 2 seconds. So F4 doing a phenomenal job keeping that gap going. So we'll go back a little bit further. Pro Ultra, the gap behind him, it's closing down. Eye that man, getting closer. And it goes away as we get into the straightaway. So it looks like Pro Ultra's got the faster straight line speed, but through the corners, Eye that man is closing it in, but still 3.6 seconds between the two. Then the next gap from Eye that man to Sasuke, 5.1 seconds. Does close down a little bit there, but not a whole lot. So, curious to see what Dom does, as he's now, that was an outlap for him. So now he should be more than likely going to be pushing for a fastest lap. Not fastest first sector though. Personal best. You can see the green there on the scoring tower. See what Dom can do. He is on the soft tires, the fastest tires available for tonight. As he's coming up to the end of the second sector, personal best again, so not fastest overall in the sectors, but still pretty dang fast. Gap between F4 and Pro, first place and second place, currently 1.9 seconds. We're watching Dom here deciding to go on the soft tires, try to steal the extra point away from Sasuke. Around the final corner, let's see what he can do here. Can't do it. So those tires are pretty much cooked now. Yeah, the right rear is at 21%. So those tires are pretty much done. He's not going to be able to push much harder to improve his time for the rest of these laps. We're on lap 24 or 29. Gap right now between the leader and P2. 1.7, 1.8 seconds. So it's still floating right around the 2 second mark. Pro Ultra doing everything he can to catch F4. And F4 is on the medium tire, so his tires will start to grade and not be as quick. But Pro Ultra's hards are quite a few laps older, so it's kind of a toss-up at this point. The gap now down to 1.6, 5 laps left to go. Sasuke is now under a second to Eye that man. Let's go check out that. If we can keep this up. There he goes in the chromed out McLaren. both on the hard tires, but Sasuke does have the lap-old advantage. He only has 6 laps on those hards, whereas I That Man's rocking 14. I That Man takes the defensive line on the inside, which will put him on the outside of turn 7. Sasuke, using DRS, gets on the outside, side by side as they head through turn 6. Gets ahead just before turn 7. Continues on. Cross DRS's detection zone, which is going to be granting I That Man the ability to try to catch up. But Sasuke now looking to build a gap, currently up to P3 here at Abu Dhabi. And the gap now over a second. So Sasuke is using that younger hard tire advantage to start to build a gap. So gap right now between F4 and Pro Ultra sitting at 1.4, so it is closing in. 4 laps left to go. The Ferrari sparking as it comes down to turn number 1. The gap closing down ever so slightly. The mediums, 10 laps old, are getting really worn out now. Pro Ultra does have front right wing damage, sitting at about 26%. Both sitting at roughly about the same ERS availability. F4 slightly more, so you can use it as a defense. Still outside DRS range, 1.2 seconds now. But still closing ever so slightly. .2 now. 1.1 as they head through the very tight final couple corners in Sector 3. F4 doing everything he can to keep Pro Ultra far enough back, and there you can see Sasuke doing his best to catch up. 3.4 between P2 and P3. Pro Ultra pushing even harder now to catch the Red Bull. Gap just over 1 second, not close enough for DRS. Both using their batteries completely on these long straightaways. The gap 1.2, so it's going to be too far again as we head to the next detection zone on the DRS zone between 8 and 9. F4 keeping it really close to the inside there, using the least amount of track possible. A little bit sideways on the rear end. Gap now under 1 second. It's floating right around 1 second, but Pro Ultra needs to keep his car within that 1 second down at the detection zone in Sector 1, which I don't think will be a problem this time around. F4 nursing his very worn medium tires, while Pro Ultra now within half a second as we head down. 2 laps left to go here at Abu Dhabi. Pro Ultra hunting down the Red Bull of F4. All the while, Sasuke and P3 chasing them down as well. Pro Ultra right on the gearbox of the Red Bull. We'll have DRS as we head onto the long straightaway down to turn number 6. Pro Ultra going the inside. F4 can't do anything about it. Tucks in behind to get the toe down to turn 6. F4 has been recharging his battery like crazy, currently up to 50% ERS to Pro Ultra in the lead. So now it's going to be down to F4 using DRS and the battery advantage to get the position back. Goes to the inside, late braking, can't get it done through turn 9. And they continue on. Pro Ultra just out in front, barely. As we head into the tight third sector. F4 regenerating battery again. So is Pro Ultra. They are trying to regen as much as they can through this twisty bit here at the end. The tires are almost gone for F4. Vanilla picks up a 3-second time penalty. Final lap. There's your 1, 2, and 3 as we come down the main straight. F4 looking to catch. Pro Ultra goes wide. Can't get it turned in and well enough. Goes super wide. Gets a warning for it. Still close enough for DRS as we head into straightaway after the hairpin here at 5. Sasuke also within range too. So now, does F4 keep attacking or does he defend against Sasuke? We'll see as we head down to turn number 6. Rear wings wide open. Everybody using all of their battery. Very hard braking for Pro. Sasuke right on the gearbox there. Sasuke with the youngest hard tires. F4's mediums are absolutely cooked. Sasuke going for the outside. Trying to do the Oscar move around. Still side by side. Sasuke up to P2. Gets it done. Still chasing down Pro Ultra. F4 heavy on the brakes to not collect. And picks up a 3-second penalty for cutting that final corner there. So that's going to take F4 out of contention. But that leaves Pro leading us here against Sasuke as we come around the final corner. Sasuke so close. Less than half a second across the line. Pro Ultra, your winner. Followed by Sasuke, P2, F4, P3. I That Man coming around the corner now. Final corner. Gets it. Dynamic across line, P5. Vanilla coming across the line for P6. Dom 15 seconds back, so that Vanilla's 6 seconds won't really affect this outcome. Dom going past the donuts of Vanilla for P7. Gangy bringing it home under the hotel. P8 across the line. Then we got MLB, the Show Me Your D, coming around. P9. There's your winner. Pro Ultra. Bring it home in P1. So here is driver of the day is MLB, the Show Me Your D. Pro Ultra, your winner. Fastest lap, Sasuke. Most overtakes, MLB, the Show Me Your D. And we got take some pictures here of the final results. Waiting for it to, there it goes. Take a picture of that. Okay. All right, so let's head back to the intermission screen off of the race screen here. So that's going to do it for tonight at Abu Dhabi. Everything's being a little glitchy. Not a surprise there. So again, your winner tonight, Pro Ultra. Tough break for Mo F4. Losing out. But Sasuke with the recovery to get P2. So again, that's going to do it tonight for Abu Dhabi. Next week, we're at Spain for round 6 of Prowler Racing League Season 7. Thanks everyone for coming out tonight. Sorry for the technical difficulties and the audio issues, but we will try to make sure we don't make that mistake next time. Have a great night, everyone, and we will see you guys next week in Spain.